It's that no nonsense. So, guys, this doesn't come as a surprise to me because, as I know from the past to the present and even towards the future, LeBron is going to be LeBron. LeBron has a LeBron James system. And to work in the LeBron James system, you have to have LeBron, you have to have another star, and everybody else has to play the shadow role. Everybody else has to play the shadow role. Kuzma doesn't play the shadow role better. Pretty much, he doesn't even play the shadow role good. So therefore, he's a value, and they get to trade him for a guy who can play the shadow role. Lakers are in need of a ball handler. This is the team that Nick Wright and all these idiots on TV think that the Lakers are so far ahead of anybody else. And this is how I know they're on TV, just to promote this stupid LeBron is better than Jordan narrative, knowing well that ain't true. Just trying to promote this narrative that LeBron is better than Jordan. Now I'll say this about LeBron. I don't think LeBron is overrated. However, LeBron gets too much credit that he doesn't deserve. And if that's part of being overrated, then yeah. However, I don't call that being as part of overrated. I believe that they don't even believe the stuff they say. The NBA has to market their best players. So they have to market LeBron. And they're trying to push this LeBron is better than Jordan narrative. And LeBron is the perfect figure for pretty much the liberal sports world. It is what it is. He speaks out, quote unquote speaks out, and they love it because LeBron is always going to give them topics to talk about. They're like yin and yang. LeBron needs them, and they lead LeBron. However, I can see through the BS. So one of the things that I want to tell people about is LeBron does not make guys better. And it was hilarious to me when I heard that because I was like, what has he made better? See, when you're arguing with LeBron James fans, they treat LeBron teammates like they're kids. You should be happy you got a ring because of LeBron. You should be happy you on LeBron team. You could be a nobody. They told Kevin Love he should be happy. When Kevin Love came out and said LeBron James' passive-aggressive tweets was silly because he was trying to find his way in that LeBron James system. They were like, you should be happy you got a ring, Kevin. I'm like, well, LeBron wouldn't have that ring if it wasn't for Kevin. LeBron needed Kevin because he can shoot. And when you're arguing with these LeBron James fans, not only do they treat LeBron teammates like they're kids and slaves, they contradict themselves. They believe LeBron makes teammates better. Also, they believe that his teammates are trash. They say that you're trash and also you're better when you play with LeBron. That sounds like a person that contradicts themselves. It's funny to me. I heard guys come out like J.R. Smith and Kyle Culver say that LeBron made me better, and then they report this crap because LeBron makes it easier for shooters. He gets to shoot in 4 or 5 men, take them the center out the paint, get these easy buckets in the paint, draw 2, kick out the shooters. So the term for Kyle Culver and J.R. Smith is, he made it easier for me. Right? Because if you go to any other team that run that similar style of play, you're going to perform like that. It's called getting wide open shots, Culver. It's called getting wide open shots, JR. However, when you go against a high IQ team that's not going to double team LeBron, notice these guys let LeBron do everything and guard the teammates, then they trash because they convince themselves, if LeBron can make you better, you must be trash. No, LeBron has never made them better in the first place. I said LeBron is to be best evaluated under adversity. LeBron could quote unquote make guys better, but LeBron don't even believe this because he has these guys on trade market. LeBron doesn't even believe he made guys better because he wanted superstars on his team. So I wonder where they got this from. And I figured out, obviously, a long time ago. They wanted to promote this stupid LeBron is better than Jordan narrative. You know what? I tell people this all the time. If you know, there's certain scientists, even back then, where they used to pay scientists to tell people that cigarettes didn't harm your body. And so people were like, well, scientists say that cigarettes don't harm your body. Pretty much giving you the lung cancers and everything. Guys famously saw the woman that had the thing come out her neck. Right? Mess with your lungs and all that. But they were paying scientists to say that it didn't harm your body. Pretty much it's to promote cigarettes because it was making a lot of money. LeBron James is making the league a lot of money. So they're paying these guys to go out here and say extra crap that isn't true, right? And people just eat that up. And then, they're trolls on the internet. They go and call people dumb and stupid. But you're running around here with information that even the guys you got it from don't believe. It's called selling out. This is why I call Nick Wright a media mistress. He's a sellout. He acknowledged the fact that Michael Jordan would be a better three-point shooter in today's era because he didn't practice on it. To Chris Carter told him straight up, Michael would average 40 points in today's era because you couldn't touch him. Nick Wright couldn't debunk it. Because Nick Wright doesn't know. Exactly, because he's here to promote the LeBron James agenda, right? It pays his bills. I mean, it is what it is. It pays his bills. You look at the media goon, Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp was looking for a TV personality job, so he latched on to LeBron. Keep in mind, a lot of these guys going to latch on to stars, rather it's hate or love to get jobs. You look at Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless got his job hating on LeBron. Now, that's a LeBron hater. If you want to find a LeBron hater, go watch Skip Bayless. But a lot of the stuff that Skip Bayless said was true about him. He shies away from the biggest bright lights and the stars. He makes too much excuses. And his media fanboys, media mistress, don't hold him to no accountability. And why am I getting on LeBron? It's because Kuzma has become the latest subject of this. He believed that he is LeBron fan. You're not a LeBron fan. I tried to tell you this. If you do not play the shadow well, because keep in mind, Kuzma is a diverse scorer. He plays like a shooter to me, but he also goes on the mid-range. And he also has that, he'll do a post shot where he do a back down turnaround. However, when you're playing with LeBron, you're supposed to just catch the ball and jack it up. I hear a lot of guys acknowledge the fact that stars need the ball so they can get it to the rhythm, but they never acknowledge the fact that if stars need to do that, don't you think role players need to do that too? This is why Steve Kerr told the world that I don't run a lot of pick and rolls because it'll get my teammates cold. I like to have everybody touch the ball. This is what Steve Kerr said. So Steve Kerr pretty much acknowledged the fact that even role players need to get into a rhythm. So it turns out Kuzma can't play the shadow well. This is why Kuzma tweeted, because this trainer said, you could tell who's sharper on the game. Kawhi is a lot sharper than LeBron, because it is true. Although LeBron works on his body, Kawhi works more on his offensive game, and the brother's handles is becoming surreal. I'm impressed about the brother's handles. LeBron still doesn't have a go-to move, and he's settling for a lot of threes. He's even trying to ice on the three-point line. 6'9", 250. Shying away from the free throw. He's still having to improve on this free throw. And he was a very, very great mid-range shooter in his last year in Cleveland before he came to LA. You know? So now Kuzma is seen as the odd man out that's quote-unquote holding the Lakers back. And then if LeBron had a go-to move, they won't need another ball handler because keep in mind, they was up double digits on the Clippers twice. This is why Lakers are acting up because like I tell these LeBron fanboys, not haters, these LeBron fanboys, is that it doesn't matter what they do to the Suns. It doesn't matter what they do to the Grizzlies. It doesn't matter what they do to the Pistons. It matters what they do under adversity against the Bucks and the Clippers. And the Lakers and LeBron know that LeBron knows he can't keep up with Kawhi for 7 games. This is why he has Kyle Kuzma in trade pretty much discussions. Because he knows he needs help to beat the Clippers. When he say I need another ball handler, he says I need help or he needs a closer. That's pretty much what he's saying. If he had a go-to move, he wouldn't need that though. And that's not to sound redundant.
General Manager Jalen Anthony Rose. You're talking about the Lakers. Mm-hmm. They are not a perfect roster. No, they are not a perfect roster. And there are now reports that they're listening to offers about Kyle Kuzma. So, if you were going to upgrade this Lakers team, GM Jalen, how would you do so?
You look no further than the most recent game they played. Here's a couple of issues that the Lakers have. They're not great three-point shooters. They're not great free throw shooters.
Good point.
And they don't get much scoring punch off the bench.
No.
That's why you're showing Kyle Kuzma. Because coming into this season, and even I talked about him growing into an opportunity to be like part of a big three. This is a perfect example of how you can be set back if you get injured.
Yeah. This is a perfect example of him not fitting in the LeBron James system. This was a perfect example of that. Keep in mind, this LeBron James system is not extremely prominent to the degree that it was in Cleveland. LeBron obviously openly stated, pretty much, that he can't do a lot of the stuff he did in Cleveland. He's too old. So it's a bit altered. They run a bit of Frank Vogel stuff and also LeBron James stuff. Kyle Kuzma just can't fit in it. He just don't fit. He don't fit in Frank Vogel's system, LeBron James system. As simple as that.
And remember, it happened with Team USA.
Over the summer,
So if he doesn't get injured, in my opinion, he practices and gets chemistry with LeBron and AD. He comes into the season healthy. He's a starter. Now you get injured. They're already off and running. We got to bring you off the bench.
Oh, yeah.
And so now
I do know they got the best record in the West. And they're gapping it. It's going to be a gap. And yet they still need help. Okay.
all of a sudden your opportunities are lessened. The shots you can miss, the times you can have a turnover, the times you can make a mistake. And now it's win at all costs.
I like how guys say that. Guys try to convince themselves with their mouths that LeBron is better than Kawhi, but deep in their hearts, they know that LeBron's not better than Kawhi based on how you act. LeBron needs another star. This is what I mean by LeBron James fans or fanboys. This is why I tell you not to be a fanboy of a player. Because when LeBron doesn't do the things you feel that he should do, you get emotionally hurt. Right? You want reality to bend for that person. I'm just being real with you. It's not good to be a hater because you evaluate them with hatred. It's not good to be a fanboy. I'm not a hater of LeBron. He's not overrated to me. He just gets too much credit he don't deserve. But I know a lot of these media personalities don't mean it because they're only trying to promote the LeBron James agenda. Just like how guys were just trying to promote the cigarettes. This is why I use the example of how guys were paying scientists to say that cigarettes were healthy for you and didn't harm your body. So they're paying a lot of these guys to promote LeBron. It is what it is. The truth sound like hate to those that live in lies. And if you actually believe the lies that the media was telling you, then the truth is going to hurt you. It's going to sound like hate. I'm just sorry to tell you that. It is what it is. Move on. Right? You should seek the truth. Right? Even if it's over feelings. It is what it is.
Mold, literally. So for Kyle
And that's also the problem with today's society. A lot of guys nowadays have a hard time telling guys the truth because they don't want to hurt guys' feelings. This is why there's a lack of leadership, even in sports. They kiss up to these guys instead of telling them the truth. When I look at Joel Embiid, Shaq and Charles told the brother the truth. And some guys going to take it, some guys won't. Joel Embiid took it. And now he's improving this game. Now Ben Simmons has to take it. If he doesn't take it, then he's not a winner. You look at Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. Right? Andrew Wiggins is not a winner. You just got to tell these folks the truth.
Kuzma, you got to start bringing in people that fills the holes that I just mentioned.
Let's take a look at Kyle Kuzma's last 4 games. Okay? Last 4 games. He hasn't played that great. You know, he's only 8 points. Look at that field goal percentage, 27%.
But he's obviously not confident anymore. He knows that he's going to get traded. Because I tell people this all the time. When you don't fit in the LeBron James system, where you're not playing bad, it gives the fanboys an excuse to say you're going to get traded. When you're playing good, you're pretty much boosting up your value to get traded. It feels like a lose-lose situation. That's why I said about the guys back then. I knew they was going to be traded. They were like, they got to play for their job. No, they don't. When they play well, they boost up their value to get traded. When they play bad, it fueled their excuse to get pretty much how I told you he was trash and then he gets traded. It's a lose-lose situation for him. So he kind of just lost his confidence. It is what it is, Kyle Kuzma.
Then what does that tell you about what's happening with him on this team right now?
So when you're building a team around a superstar, and you notice I don't use that term a lot. I took it out of my vernacular in sports. LeBron is a superstar. When you're building around
He's a celebrity, right? He wants to be a celebrity on the court.
Superstar, now you're able to supplement his strengths by giving him shooting, by giving him defense, but also supplementing his weaknesses. Get other guys to defend so he don't always have to at this point of his career. Kyle Kuzma doesn't really fall into either one of those categories.
Supposed to be the shooter, but it just hasn't been knocking him down.
No, he's not. He's a scorer. He's not a shooter. He can make catch and shoot shots, but that's not what I don't want to look at a stat sheet and Kyle Kuzma is taking 10 3-point shots a game.
Well, whose fault is that? That's the LeBron James system. He has to shoot, right? He has to create space and open up the floor for LeBron. Keep in mind, LeBron needs to have shooters so the floor could be opened up for him. If LeBron had a team full of good shooters, a lot of these points that you see that he struggled with, his field goal percentage is going to rise because he's picking apart one-on-one guys and they switch everything. LeBron's a smart player. He's going to find the weakest defender and he's going to be open. He gets to drive and lay up, draw two, kick out, draw two, throw lobs. He pretty much going to do that. When he don't have as much shooting, he's going to have to rely more of his skill. And he doesn't have that. He doesn't have truly an offensive, I would say, a skill set that can get him easy buckets. He has to have the team geared around him to do that.
No. I want him mixing up his game because he's
And when you make LeBron look bad, that's worse than telling him you hate him. You can tell LeBron I love you. You can save him from a car crash. But if you make LeBron look bad on the court, you gone anyway.
versatile scorer. So that to me is why he hasn't been able to get going with the Lakers, and which is why they're obviously going to be listening to him, listening to his name in potential trades.
We'll see. I think they need some shooting. They need someone.
Of course, they need everybody. They need Barney. They need Jesus. They need Julius Caesar, right? They need Darth Vader. They need everybody. Because like on all these LeBron James teams, they need a ball handler. They need another star. Because LeBron James fans, even though they claim that this guy is the best in the NBA or better than Kawhi, they don't believe it in their hearts because they don't believe LeBron could be the team that's equally matched as him, a little worse, a little better. That is going to come down to superstar play. If Giannis is knocking down his shots, he knows LeBron is going to be nothing to him. Kawhi knows that LeBron is not going to be able to keep up with him for a long stretch of time. LeBron knows this, so he has to have abundance of help. This is why LeBron shies away from a lot of the shots in the final seconds. A lot of guys are like, why don't you shoot it? I don't understand. Because they getting fed lies they don't know. And I'm here to tell you, because he doesn't have a go-to move. And keep in mind, the 2 losses against the Clippers, they would have won, because they was up double digits. They would have won if LeBron would have showed up. They would have if he would have shown up, they would have won. They can win the championship. It's going to come down to LeBron. However, LeBron knows that he is unable to do this for a long stretch of time. This is why I say LeBron struggles with confidence. This is why I say that. I said this on my video. I said LeBron struggles with confidence. Because I see him go at players that can't go at him, but he doesn't go at superstars that can embarrass him. He didn't go at Kevin Durant in the finals. He couldn't go back at Dirk. He doesn't go back at Kawhi Leonard. I remember when the Spurs beat him, and this was in the 2014 finals when the Kawhi was guarding him. Stephen A. even said it back then. He said, I would love to see LeBron go back at Kawhi and show him that, hey, you can't guard me. And this was in the finals that they lost. So it was conversations like this arising back then. Like, why don't LeBron go at these guys? Because if you can embarrass him, he's not going to do that. He doesn't have a skill set that he's confident in to constantly go to go back at you. And this is why he gets mad, because he knows that the media is going to come to his defense, because he quote-unquote makes guys better and his team is trash. Such contradiction. But this is what his fanboys believe. So they're going to blame his teammates for his failures, right? Because when you're dealing with LeBron, and like I said, a true leader sets an example that even himself follows. When you look at Kyle Kuzma saying that a spade is a spade, when he said you could look at Kawhi Leonard working on 100% of his game and Kawhi don't, and LeBron don't, you could pretty much tell Kyle Kuzma saying that LeBron doesn't work 100% of his game. Because like I said with LeBron, when LeBron sets a standard as a leader, only he can follow it. Nobody else can. Well, that's it. If you like this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. That's it. It's that no nonsense.